Vampires, but not that kind. Although... Anyway, vampires, the mysterious, powerful gothic horror bloodsuckers, as you might have seen in Robert Eggers' latest work, and a Dhampir, or half-vampire, thrown into the mix.
You are under the Duke's protection. No harm can come to you, Jimmy.
Vampire Hunter D. Bloodlust leads with one such daywalker, navigating an unforgiving fallen world. A world once ruled by technologically advanced vampire lords who have dwindled in number, with the wasteland now occupied by communities of humans struggling to survive, using technology ranging from futuristic to steampunk to primitive. Then there's monsters and mutants, a lot of them. This is just like the West, right? Metaphors aside, from this point on in the video there will be major spoilers. You've only had about 24 years. The conflict of the film begins in the classic fashion of a vampire whisking away a poor girl in the night, and who knows what he might do to her. Our protagonist Dee, the half-vampire, is hired by her family to rescue her, or at the very least bring back proof of her remains. From then on, the audience witnesses a fascinating clash of societies beyond individuals, as Dee sets out on the victim's trail. Like a true goth boy, nobody likes him. The first group of humans we get to know closely are the Marcus brothers, a clan of mercenaries who have also been tasked with rescuing the kidnapped girl. Sending Silver Crossbow Bolt Dee's way is one heck of a shit test, but that's what it is. Like a bipolar e-girl, they challenge Dee by seeing how he'll react to their provocation. Having listened to his daily Sigma affirmations that morning, he ignores it and continues on his mission, effectively passing a grand trial by showing how he can coexist with the rougher edges of humanity. Dee catches up with the vampire lord Meyer and battles him, although loses his motivation to fight when he hears the voice of the supposedly kidnapped Charlotte cry out for her undead lover. As he watches the carriage drive onward, I can imagine him thinking, well, what am I supposed to do now? He's unintentionally wound up in the "isn't there somebody you forgot to ask" consent meme. As such, he takes a pause to heal the wounds of the Marcus clan's pass-around girl before setting out again on his quest for whatever outcome it might have. To catch up to them, he passes through the territory of the Barbaroi, presenting another window into a unique society of this world, which is somewhat similar to Jack Vance's Dying Earth, Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun, or Smith's Zothic in regard to the setting. I like Dying Earth settings, okay? If I was a journalist, I might feel the temptation to call this the Dark Souls of anime for an article. The Barbaroi are mutants, monsters, demons, and the results of inbreeding between them, which can be interpreted as a thematic rejection of the relationships between vampires and humans. Dee, being a half-vampire, is permitted entry, although he ultimately has to fight a losing battle against them, which could have been avoided until the Marcus clan cripple hacks into God mode and nukes them indiscriminately with spirit lasers. Continuing onward from that absurd ability, Dee enters a Wild West town to buy a new horse because I guess they don't sell undead horses in every human civilization. The sheriff of the town threatens him despite Dee's peaceful disposition, yet the mechanics on the horse bails him out by recounting how previously Dee had saved many of the town's children, including the mechanic himself. Nearby, he encounters the woman of the hour, who pledges her resistance to leaving Meyer and returning to her family, confirming Dee's suspicions. The sympathy he shows by not immediately kidnapping her contrasts with humanity's lack of care when the female of the Marcus clan, Layla, whom Dee saved, previously holds her hostage. Although that effort fails too when Meyer's bodyguards of the Barbaroi save her, leaving them all in the same place as previously. Or not. Layla manages to come to an understanding with Dee as they wait out the rain together, which is a crucial scene for every good rom-com anime. This confirms Dee's ability to continuously accept humanity, even as they reject him, until they too accept him because of his unfaltering righteous actions. A noble idea that is important to the film. Dee doesn't change the world by just killing vampires, but rather showing humanity an eternal, stoic patience that can be waited as long as it takes for people to become better than the cruel vampire lords who once ruled them. However, even the natural cruelty of the vampire race is put into question when the Marcus brothers ambush Meyer on a bridge, where he proves his love of Charlotte by enduring the scorching sun and silver bolts to take her back. When they escape and continue towards their perceived paradise together, Meyer manages to restrain his bloodlust towards her, leaving the audience to wonder just how long such a relationship can last even with the highest intentions, which is amplified by the trail of death that their love has left in its wake. When Meyer and Charlotte finally reach the end of their travels, a grand castle ruled by Carmilla, who is thought to be dead, Elon Musk's newest toy is shown in all its symbolic splendor to be their true carriage to paradise. Yet, such a paradise on Earth, or the moon for that matter, is impossible. To cut this part short, Charlotte is killed by the vampire ghost Camilla, proving that there can be no lasting physical relationship between humans and vampires when they are assailed by outside parties as well as their own internal struggles. Yet not all is lost. The love that they shared itself is as eternal as Meyer and his destination beyond the Earth that he travels to with Charlotte's corpse, when the rocket miraculously manages to fly as Layla cheers them on. The movie ends with an epilogue that builds off that scene. A funeral decades after those events. Layla passed away from old age, yet her death is not portrayed as a tragic, nihilistic rejection of life. Rather, her coffin is surrounded by people who loved her, people who will continue to remember her, as well as her own biological legacy. Another form of immortality, you could say, an everlasting love that's actually achievable. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust almost immediately became one of my favorite movies when I watched it for the first time last year. From its edgy, yet not over-the-top aesthetic, to the cool fight scenes, fluid animation, unique character designs, and well-written themes, there's a lot to love, from Tumblrite to Chudcell. The story told is truly everlasting. As such, I recommend watching it if you haven't already. I wasn't exactly sure about the direction to take this video, so it ended up becoming pretty much a recap with some light analysis, which I'll try to move past as I get better at writing video scripts. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, or subscribe to encourage me to make more, all that standard YouTuber nonsense that you don't want to hear. See you later, Army.